been taking these shots back to back to back. Got one eye open trying to find out where I'm at. I know that you mad, yeah. Sorry, that's my bad, yeah. When you talking love, I don't know how to act. I got some issues that always come up. Spoke myself stupid to cover it up. Cause my heart's been broken, babe, too many times. You always show up and I always run. Tell myself that's what you're doing is dumb. Deep down I know it, babe. You're one of a kind. I was doing good all on my own. Yeah, staying in my lane and going slow. Hate to put you through this back and forth, but girl, it's hard for me to give up my control. So I've been taking these shots back to back to back. Got one eye open trying to find out where I'm at. I know that you mad, yeah. Sorry, that's my bad, yeah. When you talking love, I don't know how to act. I've been taking these shots back to back to back. Got one eye open trying to find out where
I finally heard from the district court from where we filed the paperwork about the election that they rigged and hacked. Anyway, they sent a motion to dismiss by the other counsel that they call the respondents when they really should be the defendants, because I wanted to file it in criminal court. I wanted to file it in criminal court because I felt like what they did was criminal, and it was because they hacked the election, they cheated, and that's what all my evidence shows. There's some evidence that I have not mentioned. However, when we go to court and they get to pulling it, I will tell y'all whatever, because at that point they can't combat it. It's already in front of everybody, and of course we're working with people who have been in this office and in judgeships for long times, and you know what we hear about them, and that's fine. I don't care what we hear about them. I won't ask for a judge trial or any of that. I'm gonna fight it tooth and nail, because that's our right and that's what we're supposed to do. Y'all need to be calling. If anybody, I'm gonna get the petition out to you guys about this case, to make sure that it stays in court, to let them know that there's other people behind this that want to see it in court, that want to see it actually fought in court. So, with that being said, their reasoning for wanting to dismiss it, they said that we didn't file or we didn't complain the correct way, meaning that we didn't put it in writing that we disagree with the election results. Well, first of all, I called Michael Caskey, I called Michael Abbott, or Brian Caskey and Michael Abbott, and we also asked, not only myself, several of the candidates asked what was the proper filing to disagree and everything. They sent us to the DA's office. The DA's office acted like they were clueless and didn't know what we were talking about. However, I have the actual voices from my complaint to several of the Attorney General, the election director for the state of Kansas, and the election commissioner, Michael Abbott. Me calling them several times and complaining about the election results, asking them to investigate, asking them why would a non-employee have access to our election software and election results. What Brian Caskey told me was that I had nothing. Now, with that being said, Miss Janice Witt called me the other day, or messaged me the other day, saying that Brian Caskey was waiting to review my evidence. Well, at this point, Mr. Caskey, I know that you have a bias, so no, you cannot have my evidence. You'll see it in court. And I will continue to file it. I don't care how many times y'all try to bat it down, I'm going to file it again. I'm going to file in a different court because, again, I think that every last one of y'all names should be on a criminal indictment, a criminal investigation into what happened, because it was not an accident. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't some kind of hanky-panky. It was y'all hacked the election results. And if you did not do it, Mr. Caskey and Mr. Abbott, after you found out that it had been done, you were accessories after the fact, because your attitudes changed. And I want to point that out. in those voice recordings. How on the 4th, y'all were just hunky-dory and yay, we want the best and the honest truth and integrity. And then I talked to Mr. Abbott on the 5th. Mr. Caskey didn't come in because people were calling. He didn't even come to work on the 5th. I talked to him on the 6th, where he did nothing but yell at me on that phone. And by all means, you can yell at me if you want to, but I wasn't the one who hacked the election. But I am the one with the right to stand up and say, I will not accept those made up votes that y'all gave me. But he didn't get mad until he understood that I can count. Because when he told me that my last election was countywide and this one was a district, I said, so what? If you divide that number by 8, it gives you 325. Regardless. So, you're still short. Where are the rest of the votes? Now, I've seen all kind of anomalies. Y'all can call me the Rain Man when it comes to numbers, because I've seen all kind of anomalies in there. And when they get some math people with degrees to look it over, they gonna see the same thing. Because if you compare it to even last year's race or last term's race, theirs was off too. However, it wasn't like this race. You could tell whoever was doing last year and the year before, they were better at it. These people are not at all. I imagine that they did not know how to count. Not well. The last thing I want to say is when running for office, you hear all kind of rumors and you hear about threats and blackmails and stuff like that. I think I've been on the shallow end of that because I have not received such threats. Last week, or not last week, the week before last, right after we filed this in court, I had heard that some people had showed up to the company that the Duffys had hired for their marketing and asked about finances. And then all of a sudden, Miss Duffy and Mr. Duffy are like silent. I'm going to do what I got to do because I got in writing what was said to me. And I'm going to use that regardless, because it was not spoken of by the person who helped file the complaint. It was spoken by the actual complainant. So with that being said, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use every piece of evidence I got, and they better come with every fight that they have, because I am not playing. With that being said, y'all, reach out to me if you have any questions. I will be reaching out to people to sign the petition. And with that, have a blessed night.